ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MCR 2030 webinar series. This webinar is focusing on climate and disaster resilience implementation in cities, best practices. My name is Armen Rostomyan, and I was asked to moderate this webinar. The purpose and goal of this webinar is to introduce new approaches, new tools and methodologies that were used by MCR 2030 Global Initiative member cities and partners to strengthen cities' resilience and to facilitate knowledge sharing, best practices sharing, and lessons learned among cities. This webinar is organized by a consortium of partners that include AIT RRCAP, Ministry of Environment Japan, UN Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, ICLEI, Local Governments for Sustainability, Asian Disaster Preparedness Center, and Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy. Please let me briefly inform you about some background rules. The webinar will start with keynote address and welcome speech by Director of AIT RRCAP, and the keynote speech by representative of Ministry of Environment Japan. That will be followed by 7 speakers presentation. And after these 7 presentations, there will be a 15 minutes question and answer session in which I will direct your questions to respective webinar speakers. Please kindly use question and answer function to type your questions if you will have any, and please also indicate in the chat function for general, and also please indicate in question and answer function area to whom your question is directed. After I will introduce each speaker, their short biography will be posted in the chat box. Please also be informed that webinar will be recorded and will be uploaded on YouTube channel. After question and answer session, there will be, we will ask you to fill an evaluation survey. The link will be posted in the question and answer session. And we would be very grateful that you spend 2-3 minutes to complete this online survey to provide us your feedback. So let us start the webinar now. And it's a pleasure for me to introduce Dr. Gilberto Borognan, Director of Regional Resource Center for Asia and Pacific at the Asian Institute of Technology, to deliver a short welcome speech. Dr. Borognan, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Armin. Mr. Taiki Kono, Assistant Director, the Climate Change Adaptation Office, Global Environment Bureau, Ministry of the Environment, Japan. I would like to also acknowledge our Honorable Mayor, Ran Bahadur Rai, the Mayor of Suryodaya Municipality in Nepal. Partners, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good day. A warm welcome to all. On behalf of the Regional Resource Center for Asia and the Pacific, the Asian Institute of Technology, I am pleased to welcome you to the MCR 2030 webinar series titled Climate and Disaster Resilience Implementation in Cities, Best Practices. This webinar goal is to empower you with practical knowledge, peer insights, and replicable solutions for developing resilient city action plans. We also spotlight regional efforts aligned with the Sendai Framework and Paris Agreement. This webinar is actually part of the Making Cities Resilient 2030 initiative, which we organize in close collaboration with our partners, the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, or UNDRR, ICLEI, Local Governments for Sustainability, the Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy, and the Asian Disaster Preparedness Center, or EDPC. I would like also to express my gratitude and a big thanks to the Ministry of the Environment, the Government of Japan, for the ongoing support for this webinar series, as well as our climate adaptation and disaster risk reduction activities in the Asia Pacific region. So why this webinar matters for us? We see that cities are on the front lines of climate change and disaster risk. Local governments are key players in strengthening resilience by engaging communities, NGOs, businesses, and agencies. Building local capacity and promoting city-to-city learning are essential to managing climate risk like floods, droughts, and storms, especially as rapid urbanization, poverty, and limited infrastructure worsen their impacts. What to expect this webinar is that this webinar series will showcase practical tools, approaches, and real-world case studies to strengthen resilience. Also, I would like to promote here in this platform the tools, the FloodS or flood simulation, along with other helpful e-resources that we have. The FloodS or flood simulation is a free web-based tool that lets you simulate flood scenarios in your own area to better understand risk and improve your preparedness in your community. We have also developed a 4-module e-learning course that guides you through understanding the flood simulation on this flood risk, using the tool effectively and applying it through a real case examples. It's available on the EP platform as well as in RRCAP website. So hence I would like to encourage you to explore it and visit this site. For this, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our partners, the Ministry of Environment of Japan, and our esteemed resource speakers for their invaluable contribution and support towards this MCR 2030 webinar series. As well, of course, our participants attending this webinar series. I wish you a meaningful, engaging webinar experience. Welcome once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Borognan, for a very inspiring welcome speech. Now I would like to invite Mr. Daiki Kono, Assistant Director, Climate Change Adaptation Office, Global Environment Bureau, Ministry of the Environment, Japan, to deliver a keynote speech. Mr. Daiki Kono, the floor is yours.
Rising toward 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius, the limits of adaptation are being tested, putting long-term sustainability at risk. As climate-related disasters intensify, cities, our economic, social, and cultural centers, face increasing threats to their sustainability and well-being. They are also our first line of defense. That's why today's discussion is so critical. This webinar is an opportunity to learn from real-world examples, share innovative tools and best practices, and explore how climate adaptation, disaster risk reduction, urban planning, and community engagement can work together to build resilience. Education, cross-sectoral collaboration, and knowledge sharing will be key in addressing the complex challenges cities face. Let us use this platform to reaffirm our shared commitment to resilient, inclusive, and sustainable cities. So thank you for your time and participation. Your insights and experiences are essential to shaping a more resilient future. I encourage you all to engage actively, exchange ideas, and build connections that lead to real on-the-ground action. Let today be the start of stronger partnerships, innovative thinking, and transformative change. Together, we can turn today's challenges into tomorrow's opportunities. Thank you once again, and I look forward to a productive and inspiring discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daiki Kono, for inspiring keynote speech. Dear participants, just we are going to have a very short group photo session now. I would be very grateful if you kindly switch on your cameras, that we will have some very quick screenshot pictures we will share also with you, and it will be also part in our report. So it would be, please kindly for a couple of minutes switch on your cameras, that we can have some pictures and photo session. Thank you very much. And my colleague Payasa will kindly inform us when we have the pictures done. Yeah, Payasa, are we fine? Thank you. Thank you very much, colleagues. Just before starting our session, I want to share with you a very recent information from Bangkok, Thailand. Our colleagues experienced very strong earthquake in Thailand, and many of the staff members were running out from the office and their apartments, and that's why our first speaker may not be available, because there was quite a big turnout and people were running out. But hopefully no one has been hurt. That's what I'm learning now. It was very recent, I guess about 20 minutes before. Just to bring it to your attention and inform that maybe we will switch the places of some of our participants, mainly for those who are from Thailand. And now I would like to invite our speaker, Mr. Julius Jimenez, who is a facility researcher of Mariana Marcos State University, city of Batak, Ilicos North, Philippines. And Mr. Julius Jimenez will speak about innovative resilient tools for flooding, for flood mitigation, and provide case study from Bai, Matak Up, and transboundary flood simulation in Patsan River watershed. Mr. Julius Jimenez, floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I am tasked to present to you with some of the tools that we are able to use for our mitigation and adaptations of the impact to our cities. So the content of my presentation is all about, first is, let's just briefly see what is the impact of flooding. And this the part 2 will be Flades. The third will be GeoVista, which is different tools, flood simulators, and then the next presentation, or the next content, will be the different case studies in Ilocos and other provinces. Okay, so we know flooding is always giving us a problem every year, especially in the Philippines. So in fact, during the Paris consensus, there is still changes on the climate and weather for weather, and this graph showing that it will definitely increase the relative change in the flow of rivers, and based on the data of the ADB, or the Asian Development Plan, it will cause a lot of impact, especially in agriculture, in marine ecosystem, in human health, and there is also in urban areas, and there are losses about billions of dollars. And the worst thing is, like, most of the population affected is concentrated in the Asia and Pacific regions. So what we can do with this one? So there is first technology that I want to give you briefly introduce to you, which is the Flades, or it is a web-based interactive tool for adaptation planning. It is a free web tool that you can search from top.floods that green. The organizations that are developing or collaborating this kind of project is first is the Ministry of the Environment Japan as the head of these collaborations, the AIT or RCAP who are distributing the technology, hosting the technology, and the Hitachi is the developer of this. There are two major mode of the FloodS. First is the viewer mode, wherein you don't need to log in. You can just browse those existing projects in the uh, web. So there are some existing projects that you can view, especially different cities, 8 cities in Asia and Pacific regions. And the second is the simulation mode, which is it allows you to develop your own project. This requires an account wherein account creation is very easy. You just need to send us the your intent to have an account, and our secretariat will make you an account, and then you can already simulate your own. It's this simulation mode is just 3 steps. First is the creation of project. Second is the conditions wherein you can enter flood depth, flood flows, and the updated the updated the version of FloodS. You can also input the rainfall, and there is also a projections of the SSP 8.5, which is the worst climate scenario that will happen. So this gives a lot of insights on your place on the floodings of your cities. So another features of FloodS is that you can have these search functions wherein your it allows collaborations between individuals who are trying to simulate by their own experiences, because FloodS provides a preloaded DEM and everything that you need for a flood simulations is there already. So the pictures that you are looking at up the upper picture is an example of serve functions wherein you can see that there is an existing project I did from myself, and I have a choice to provide this to the different officials in Bangkok if they want, and by request based. Yeah, the lower left is also in Bangkok, wherein you can see the inundation simulations of this. And you can see in the lower right that this is the result already that I downloaded, and then put it in a Google Earth, wherein I can see the different houses affected with the red ones. So you can see here the simulations, the projected level of water in a specific rainfall conditions. So there is also an e-learning for FloodS. So you can search from Applat and go for the data tools or the literacy that you can find the e-learning that it's a self-paced e-learning, and you can also use the website of the RRCAP, AIT RRCAP, wherein there is also the same e-learning that you can find here. Okay, so that is our first technology. The second technology is the GeoVista. This is actually the cloud tool behind FloodS Simulator. The difference of this one is that, like, the FloodS is a web tool wherein the queries of the user is the queries from the user is in a web or Google browser or Safari for so for GeoVista is the one that is in the cloud tool right now that is simulating the FloodS. Now, this GeoVista have also a desktop applications that you can do more with your city. For example, in the Philippines, every city right now is aiming to be a smart city wherein one of the greatest factors to consider in a smart city is to consider the floodings. So in providing a different infrastructures for flood control, Geovista provided this kind of simulations to predict what is the impact of this infrastructure. Okay, so this tool, the flood is actually uses the Geovista to simulate flood through cloud thing. And Geovista uses a dynamic domain defining method or dynamic DDM that requires large computational capabilities. Geovista is widely used in Japan, both in private and public sectors for flood inundations. This is very specific one. And based on the data, the dynamic DDM, which uses by this tool, is well calibrated and validated in Japan. Okay, so the different features of this is that it has a horizontal resolution up to 1 by 1 meters, and the global coverage is available of the availability of DAM is in global, so you can use this GeoVista at the different side of the world. First, it allows 3D simulations where you can see the rivers and also mountains of how the movement of water will go. It integrates also land use land cover. That's why I can say that it has a high resolution result. And also it supports smart cities as I had. So it allows development of localized flood forecasting. Yeah. Okay. What are the features of GeoVista? So as I said before, in a briefly discussions, these are now, I want to retract this one. First, it can retract river discharge flooding. This is very common in every area of the globe. As long as there is a river, there is a potential flooding also. So it works with existing flood approach. So for example, in the Philippines, we have the different local settings wherein they have their own flooding approach. So it works with that. It allows predictable infrastructure failure, for example, dams. There are a lot of incidents already that the dams are failed to carry the water, and through this one there is a failure with the dam constructions, and it will cause a lot of casualties. It supports flood control planning, for example, for a bigger and regional planning adaptations and mitigations. It works across sectors, for example, agriculture, in land use, land cover planning, and all. Even in the part of our population, for example, in the social part. So now, I would like to have an overview of what we are doing right now. The first is the case of Pawe Ilocos Norte. Pawe Ilocos Norte, if you are aware with the Pawe Church, they are very one of the UNESCO heritage site is Pawe Church, wherein every day there is a tourist visiting the Pawai. So they are rich in terms of tourism. But the problem during wet seasons, during peak seasons, like it's flooded, for example, what I'm showing here to you. So based on the DOST, it's really have a lot of potential floodings. But the problem right now is like we just only have the 5, 10, and 20, 100 years return period. We cannot predict at a specific certain rainfall, for example. So I did a simulation from this one. For the first column, 5 years, 25, and 100 years, I simulated this one into a according to the existing flooding approach. So and then based on the SSP 5.8 floodings provided by the app applications or the web app. So you can see here that those safe areas is reducing. Okay, those safe areas are decreasing across the different return period. The higher the return period, the more inundation, the floodings. But right now there are argument that this return period is no longer applicable in floodings. That's why I include this in the SSP 5.8 accordance to the CMIP 6. And then the highest, which is above 5.0 in depth in flood depth, is increasing. The worst thing is in SSP 5.8 floodings, or the highest changes of climate change in temperature, for example, and rainfall. It has a change from more than 800% of the areas. So there are more populations that will be subjected to floodings. Okay, there is also another one, the case of Matabob, that is prediction from the previous. The second one is this one. It's a retrace, for example. So, for example, there is a tropical depression, or yeah, called Christine. The local name is Christine, and it happens in from the locations going to the forward to Philippines and then visit the Vietnam. So during the peak rainfall of Depression Christine, it was identified using our partner from Matabob, Leyte, Philippines, that the visual validations was there. Like you can see in the picture, for example, this is the result of flood S, that this area is the same as this area. And this point of this, which is, it blocks already the roads, is this area. So using these informations, they are confident that they have to use the flood as a forecasting, as a free forecasting. You can see here, this is separate from flood S. This is another freeware, which is you can just log in. You can see here the red oblong here, that you can see it adapts the rainfall here. That when it use it, it input in the flood S, and it provides like this, and it was validated, visual validated, and you can see that there is really a flooding here and a flooding in the agricultural areas. And using the informations, the insights that have got from this one, they use it to a forecast on the social media. So there is another one that I'm doing right now. I did this in GeoVista, the case of Lawag City, Philippines, during the Super Typhoon Leon in Lawag River watershed, which is, it runs out, from October 28 to November 1. So what I did for this one is the good thing for GeoVista is that you can enter the hourly rainfall. So, which you cannot find in flood S. You can only have the equal rainfall throughout. But for the Vista, it rains in the first hour, at the second hour it rains also, but the third hour it stopped. So from this one, you can really have more efficient of they call this one, inefficient, highly efficient floodings. And you can see here that this is the locations of Lawag. So you can see it's really affected both the social and agricultural part, and even the economic, which is, according to the report, when we have visited the Lawag, it's more than million pesos that was lost in agricultural side. There is no loss for life, but for the agricultural side, there is a lot of loss due to the floodings. So yeah, that's the end of my presentations. So my closing thought for this one is like, there are, together with Flood S and GeoVista, we can really have a planning and planning for adaptation and mitigations to combat the risk of yearly flooding, especially in developing countries, developing communities. This is the motivations of the different organizations or the international organizations for giving free wear for everyone that can combat the impact of floodings. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Julius Jimenez. It was very, very good presentation. And thank you for sharing all these innovative flood mitigation tools and GeoVista flood simulator, how you use it in Philippines. Now I would like to invite our next speaker, Associate Professor Pia Pater Pisababuddin, who is the Deputy Dean for Research, Innovation and Development of Organizational Potentiality, Faculty of Science, Mahasarakam University, Thailand. Professor Payater Musavuddin, the floor is yours, please.
Good afternoon to everybody. I'm Piyapat Musavuddin from Mahasarakam University, Thailand. Today, I will present about enhancing climate change adaptation knowledge for at-risk group through local wisdom and innovative approaches. So, as you know that it is a privilege to be here today at this UNDR Forum and MCR 2030 to discuss one of the most urgent challenges of our time, climate change, climate adaptation for at-risk communities. I come from Thailand. You can see from this map. In a moment. Okay, it's full screen. Okay, see, yeah. So Thailand is a country where climate change is no longer a distant threat, but the daily reality. Each year we witness severe drought, effective farmers, flood displacing entire communities, and rising temperature, strained ecosystem and public health systems. Yet, amid this challenge, we have an opportunity to bridge the gap between tradition, wisdom, and modern innovation. So, for the keyword today, how do we integrate the local knowledge with a specific advancement to build truly resilient communities? This is the question that I want to talk more on this forum. As you see that for this is Thailand, and my place is around here in the northeast of Thailand. So for this place, even though we are so far from the sea, or the bay, but we are very, have strong temperature. So by this reason, my work on the extreme value theory, and I try to analysis on the data by corporate analysis and climate risk modeling. Try to find the best solution often emerge from the community themselves. And if we can equip them with the right to support it, I think it's very good. So for today, I would like to share with you in three crucial elements in enhancing climate adaptation for at-risk group. The first one is that recognize the unique vulnerability of these communities. And the second is harness local wisdom as a foundation for adaptation. And the last one is leverage cutting-edge innovations for long-term resilience. So start with the first thing. For the first topic is that understanding the vulnerability of at-risk group. So for this one, as you know that at-risk group are those who bear the brunt of climate change despite contributing at least to the problem. So for Thailand, we have the first group is small the farmer struggle as a rainfall pattern shift unpredictable. And the second is a coastal community are losing their land and sea level rise in the east of Thailand. And the last thing is that urban poor population face intensity heat wave with a limited access to cooling resource. For this one, I have the case study in my province. In my province, we call Mahasarakam University. For my study, as you see, this is my study in this area. We try to tell, farmer and researcher and work together because in dry season, they cannot threaten the rice production and the backbone of the farmer is that their livelihood is not that good. Traditional water sharing system, one gravity, now stagger against extreme climate variability. So that we have study and we try to make the community know more about themselves and about the natural based solution by themselves. But at first, this year we try to make the system, the data system to correct the data for the community in this area. And next one, okay, so yes, and this is the role of the next one is the role of local wisdom in climate adaptation. As you see from this picture, we try to teach them about how to know more about their about that topo map, the map in community by use the topo map and try to make the observation and try to ask them how you adaptation from this. You can see from this one. This is the case study of indigenous water management in Thailand. This is the topo map that you see from this one. And after they write down the river, the canal, or the water line already. And after that, we try to prove more. As you see this one, we try to ask them more about how they adaptation from the disaster. So from this map, you can see from this one they get divided at the three part. This part, as you see at the bottom, they have flooding every year. And for this one, flood and down. And for the north of this map is only down. And after that, they try to find, make more money and earn money more for themselves, and they try to adaptation for their career path. And this is another thing that we did now. Even though we know this situation already, and we try to, as I told you, that we try to set the data system for the community. The first thing that this is my province map, and after that we use many model in the mathematics, statistics, and engineering, and we use the IoT, and we use the data from satellite. And one thing is that very important that we have the weather station who offer this area, this province, to correct maybe 12 parameters that we will use that to calculate, and then we try to use the model from WIF and from another model also. And another one is the soil moisture mobile. This is the soil mobile to detect maybe 7 parameters, and they can know the soil property for themselves. And everything that you see here, the data we will put out to be show on the mobile application 369 days, soil, water, and weather. So for this one, we try to leveraging innovation for climate resilience. This one we work hard on our community. We go 133 sub-district and try to set the group of the people and farmer allow there. As you see my equipment here, every IoT that we predict, we try to do the AI-based climate change for the farmer. We do the predictive analytics and in our area, and especially we try to do the extremely case in this area also. This is the we call Chi Basin of Thailand. It's the middle of northeast of Thailand, and our city is here. And after that, one more thing that we do is modern technology by use the nature-based solution. And after that, we try to do the digital mini ERP for sustainable agriculture. So the thing that you see in the left hand, this is the website that we use for the official staff to look for the data that they can use for their predict, and they can use this one to tell the farmer in time. And this is the website that we did for our provincial to correct the data and to notice some the drought area and the list area by using a topo map at the first picture that I showed you. And after that, we do the many model that we did, because we have the GIS professor, and we have engineering professor to do the model. And this is the technology synergy and innovation. We use the cloud satellite based and cloud based and correct the data together and try to do many model for the farmer, and then send it and report in like the data visualization to 369 days application. And what we must do next, as you see that we have to scale this climate adaptation success. So the first thing that we have to do is like the institutionalization, local knowledge in the national adaptation plans. And the second is the invest the scalable technology solution for vulnerable communities. And after that, strengthen regional and global cooperation climate. So this is the thing that I would like to talk today. So that let us act with the urgency, commitment, and cooperation, because this decision we make today will shape the climate resilience of the future generation. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you for sharing all these case studies and innovative approaches you piloted and used in northeast provinces of Thailand. Thank you very much for this. Now I would like to invite Mr. Ran Bahadur Rai, a mayor of Suroyadaya Municipality, Nepal. And Mr. Bahadur Rai will speak about practical implementation of 10 essential for making cities resilient at local level. Mr. Bahadur Rai, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Distinguished participants, I am Rana Bahadur Rai, Suridi Municipality of Nepal. So the topic is practical implementation of the 10 essential for MCR 2030. So 10 essential component of the preliminary level assessment. These 10 essentials are extremely important and serve as a unifying factors for countries and local level government in DRR. Making cities resilient 2030 initiatives, although the needs or priorities of local government may differ, the scorecard can serve as co-guiding tool. Share गर्नु न के गर्दै हुन्छ त शेयर यसबाट गर्छु तपाईलाई concerns. Yeah, listening.
Yes, Mayor, please.
Okay. So the Surya municipality, we were the first to translate the disaster resilience scorecard for cities into Nepali. This translated version has also been published on the website of the UN office in Nepal. Surya municipality has been using this scorecard as a key reference to prepare its 5-year periodic plans, annual plan, and budget related to the disaster risk reductions DRR. By using this scorecard, we have been able to assess the status of our municipality disaster resilience. It has guided us to understand which process we need to adopt, where to start our DRR initiatives, what type of disaster risks we have faced, and how to set priorities accordingly, and what are the gaps, and what amount we need. It has also helped us to identify the types of capacity building and training program we need. Also, it helps to recognize the role of responsibilities of the local government regarding the DRR. Within this mind, Surya municipality has continuously engaged with the concerned stakeholders through the discussions and consultations. Based on these consultations, we have initiated various DRR-related activities. Due to time limitations, I would like to share only a few of the key activities we have done. The essential one, organize for the resilience. The act, procedures, framework, organizations, and stakeholders. These are the acts we made, like LAPA, disaster planning, climate, disaster climate resilience plan, environment-friendly local government, disaster resilience scorecard for cities, rapid virtual screening, STG localization, GPS risk mapping, current and futures, electronic building permit systems, and this local decision pictures for the essentials one. And the another is, this is a translation in Nepali for making cities resilience scorecard. And second is the committee organizations. We have made local disaster, local levels, ward levels, and community levels. District, we have coordinating with the district levels. Also, we have coordinated with the provincial levels and NDRRMA and others. And third is the organizations we have engaged, like user committee groups, committee management, and user committee. These are our integrations, our stakeholders: Nepal Electricity Authority, Nepal Red Cross Society, Nepal Police, Armed Police Forces, Nepal Telecom, Nepal Army. So another is essential second, identify, understand, and use current and future risk scenarios. First is hazard assessment, second exposure, third risk management. And in the first hazard assessment, we have there is a software, and this is a tools we are using, and there is a prioritized we have done, and this is the some risk mapping. Okay. Okay, this is another essential to SAM. This is a map, risk mapping. This is also, we have made the software from the Kobo tools, and this is also software. Third, financial assessment, essential third, financial arrangement. We have the contingency fund, ring fence budget, and also trying to from cities gap fund, and we discuss in the Korea as well as in the Thailand when I've been there, and disaster management fund and maintenance fund, and coordination with provincial, federal, and along with the NGOs. These are the financial arrangement we are doing, and we have our own budget also. For the essential 4, urban development plan. In the urban development plan, we have made land use planning. 1, and we have the building code we are using in the municipality, and new urban development plan for the new projects, and MTMP municipality transportation master plan we have. These are the land use planning in our municipality. We have met ourselves in our municipality, and this also land use planning. This is the municipality transportation master plan. We made it. And another is essential 5, safeguarding natural buffer to enhance the protective and function offered by the natural ecosystem. We have plantations. Every year, we used to plant minimum 50,000 to 100,000 plantations in different places of the municipality. And we have the awareness about the ecosystems in different places and transboundary environmental issues. These are some pictures. This is a resumping drinking water resources. We are working on it. And this is the plantation. We're distributing the different types of the plants to different community levels. And plantation, we're doing ourselves in the community levels. And now essential, this is an interaction program with the local peoples. These are the organic farmings we are doing. And another 6, essential 6, strengthening institutional capacity for resilience. 1 is skill and experience, data sharing, training, deliver, public education awareness, and training from others. These are the training organized by the municipality in our municipality. And these are the curriculum textbooks, local textbooks. We met ourselves inside the textbooks. There is content for regards to the DRR also, in the many chapters we have met. And this is the data sharing portal. We can use this portal, and inside these portals, there is a pictures, many the community levels, the volunteers are there. We have more than 500 volunteers. This is another institutional capacity buildings for the GIS training. After this GIS training, our technical staffs will have the capacity to analyze simple disaster risks. Additionally, we are also conducting GIS training with drones to make the systematic. We have another trainings, and we are going to build the learning center for disaster, especially for the students and learning from others. We are doing many interactive programs and interactions, exchange regards to the DRR, also in the climate change. Learning from this is the picture from one disaster risk reductions in urban resilience in Kathmandu. So this is the understand the essential 7. Understand and strengthening social capacity for resilience. There is grassroots organization networks and training, social networks, citizen engagement techniques. And there even we had the rhythm of nature, forum theater awareness campaign on different parts of the municipality. This is the picture, and these are the people who came to listen and watched about the DRR, and this is the same theater in the open theater. These are the social networks. There is different people from the different. We have more than 201 community-based development organizations from each and every community levels, and there are a minimum 12 to 20 volunteers. So these are some pictures kept for the capacity for resilience strengthening, and also distributing the dairies for the school student, engaging with them. Also, we are discussed with them regarding the DRR or the social activities. And the social capacity building. Recently, we did have consecutive days training for the local peoples, also for Nepalese Army, Nepal Police, Red Cross, and other. These are from drill, first aid, and this in the different places of the municipality, especially for the people who are in the far from the main cities, main municipality. So another is essential 8, increased infrastructure resilience. There is critical infrastructure overview, protective infrastructures, healthcare, education, first responder asset. And this is the construction of retaining wall in the risks of places where the road is not there, but if there is a risk, we are constructing the retaining wall and giving the some work, 100 days work for the local peoples to make the resilience their places, and the center, health center in the different locations. And this is the help desk center in the border. We have our municipality is a border of India, very close to the India, and when the people enter, we check what types of they have having any disease or not, and then only they can enter inside the municipality. In our this is a belongs to our municipality. And essential 9, ensure effective disaster response. Our preparedness plans we have, equipment and relief supplies needs, and we are distributing, because here is risk for the fires, because we have the maximum wooden house. Also the risk for the electrical short. So we are distributing this fire extinguishers to our people, 50% subsidies. People can get, if they are willing to pay 50%, then municipality is ready to pay another 50% as the subsidies. These are the items. And this is the safe zone for the schools. We met in the safe zones in the schools, using the local materials and local schools. So this is the totally local materials we can use. Like we have more than 9 types of the ropes, and their how to knock, and how to make the strong for the to resilient, and this rope especially used in the village or the remote part from the cities. And these are some items in the municipality. So we don't have the route in many places. So this fire extinguisher or firefighters or ambulance, if they are not able to reach there, we send to the motorcycles. So with the pump, but we are giving the priority to build a small the pound, using the coordinating with the local community. So this is a disaster preparedness plan we made, and we are working on it. And this is the this is essential 10, expedite recovery and build back better, post-event recovery planning, and lesson learned. We are giving, these are some pictures, photos. Distributing the rescue and relief materials to in the villages after the landsliding. Recently, we conducted this training. Thank you very much. I will conclude my presentations.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you very much for very insightful presentation you make on practical implementation of 10 essential for making cities resilient 2030 global initiative, and it's very good illustration and case studies you provided. I remember your very active participation and input at our regional training workshops on making cities resilient to climate and disaster risk. So thank you very much for being with us and sharing your experience. Now it's a pleasure for me to invite our last speaker, last but not least. I would like to invite now Ms. Jaslyn Lee, Engagement Lead for Southeast Asia and South Asia, a Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy, the City Climate Finance GAP Fund Partnership. Ms. Jaslyn Lee, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Armin. A very good afternoon to everyone, and very good morning as well. My name is Jaslyn. I'm from the GCOM Gap Fund Partnership. So it's a great pleasure to be here today to share with you some information to share with you a very brief introduction about the City Climate Finance Gap Fund. And of course, I think the main objective of my presentation is also to share with everyone a case study on a group of cities from Indonesia that has recently received technical assistance from the GAP Fund. So I'll just quickly go through a very brief introduction about the City Climate Finance GAP Fund. So basically, the GAP Fund is a project preparation facility, and it is jointly implemented between the World Bank together with the European Investment Bank and GIZ. And the GAP Fund Secretariat, which are the World Bank, EIB, and GIZ, they also work very closely together with different development partners, including C40 cities, GCOM, ICLE, CCFLA, and of course, in different regions, we are also working very closely with different partners as well, including UNDRR, CDP, and some other partners as well. So I just want to quickly highlight the scope of support that is provided by the GAP Fund. So as you can see from here, the technical assistance, which is specifically on providing project preparation support to cities, is very much focusing on early stage of the project cycle. So the technical assistance that the GAP Fund can provide can be in the form of helping cities to develop a climate action strategy, climate resilience strategy, master plan, helping cities to develop project concept, as well as providing pre-feasibility studies to help cities to understand the feasibility of your project ideas, and also to understand what are the economic risks, social risks, or regulation risks in relation to your project ideas, and how can you build a business model around your project idea as well. So today I would just like to share one quick case study. So this TA technical assistance support from the GAP Fund to 3 cities in Indonesia. It was recently completed last month. And if you go to the website and you search for this TA support from the World Bank, you'll be able to find more information as well. So this technical assistance on energy efficient housing and densification strategies, looking into retrofitting, densification strategies, and building other tools as well in order to help cities, including Palembang, Lubuk Linggau, and Musi Rewas, to help them to improve their housing strategies within the cities. So here you can see these are the 3 key outcomes from the technical assistance that were provided by the GAP Fund. The first one is really to help cities to conduct a different assessment. So basically, the GAP Fund looked into 100 cases of green retrofitting, self-construction, and densification study. So the main reason why GAP Fund is providing this TA support is to really help cities to understand the options of retrofitting in order to improve current condition of the housing. So this can be in the form of understanding the potential of in terms of reduction of energy consumption, water consumption, improving energy efficiency, water efficiency, and also to identify as well materials that can help cities in terms of saving. And the second key outcome from the technical assistance is a guideline that has been developed by the GAP Fund on green and energy efficient housing. And the last one is to build a tool and a housing calculator as well. So a tool that has been this suitability tool that has been developed by the GAP Fund is actually a web-based urban planning tool that can help cities to identify suitable locations and optimal locations for housing expansion and for very specific activities as well within the city. And the other tool that has been developed is a housing calculator, where the tool is developed in order to help cities to compare different housing scenarios as well as their performance in terms of from the perspective of environmental, economic, and social impact as well. So this is the theory of change that the GEFAN is looking into to really help cities to understand the potential of the project ideas. So some of the problems that has been experienced by these cities, common key challenges, including limitation of technical assistance at the local level in order to prepare a green and climate resilient housing strategy. And the second key challenge is that there's no technical, previously there's no technical guidelines that can serve as a reference for local government for green housing and retrofitting and housing expansion strategy. And the third one is that so the city is also looking into a project concept as well, and also potentially helping them to develop a pilot project of green housing retrofit and densification in Indonesia. So based on these key challenges, then these are the few activities that have been conducted by the GAP Fund. The first one is on developing suitability housing planning tools, and training has been provided as well in order to help cities to be able to utilize the tools that have been developed by the GAP Fund. And the second one is on developing a guideline. And of course, last but not least, is really to help cities to understand and looking into designing housing retrofit, self-construction, and densification in 3 cities. So why self-construction and retrofitting? Because let me just widen my screen. Yes. So why GetFund is specifically looking into self-construction is mainly because there's a lot of they're also looking into upgrading slum areas as well within the city areas. So these are the approaches in terms of providing references to local government to look into some of the options of upgrading housing areas and slum areas as well. And also adapting, integrating climate resilience element as part of the housing development plans. And this will be my last slide. So this is the application process for cities to apply for technical assistance and project preparation support from the City Climate Finance Gap Fund. So I would just like to highlight a couple of points here. And the application and the submissions are accepted on a rolling basis. There's no deadline for submission. And we would like to encourage cities as well. So for example, once you have a project ideas that you would like to move forward, we would highly encourage you to reach out to the GCOM Gap Fund team, where we'll be able to help you to go through the EOI and application preparation process in order to ensure that to develop a very compelling application. And so once the application has been submitted to the GET Fund website, the GET Fund Secretariat, which are the World Bank, EIB, GIZ, will be the one who will be reviewing your application. And last but not least, I would also like to highlight that the applications and the expression of interest are evaluated by the GET Fund Secretariat based on the climate benefits of your project ideas and looking into the potential of replicability of your project, whether it can potentially be expanded to your neighboring cities, for example, in order to benefit a wider population. And also whether your project is also aligned with the national goals or your climate action plans. And is there any aggregation potential as well? For example, a group of cities with similar set of challenges, with similar set of interventions and project ideas can actually develop a joint application together. So these are the few key criteria that the GEPAN Secretariat will look into when they are reviewing your application. And here you can see a QR code here where you'll be able to download an application form here. And these are my contact. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any question or if you need any support in terms of understanding a little bit more about the potential scope of support that you can potentially benefit from the GAP fund, and also to support you in terms of preparing the expression of interest as well. I'll stop here and I'll hand it back to Armin.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jesslyn Lee, for your very, very good presentation on climate financing models and mechanisms of City Climate Gap Fund. Thank you very much. I think it will be very useful for our participants. And with this, I want to thank all our speakers, all our distinguished speakers for their presentations. And now just to come back to our participants and say, now is the time for your questions. Please post your questions on the question and answer box. You can find it on the lower right corner. There are these three dots. You click there and open question and answer box there. Put your questions there, or just raise your hands. Just raise your hands if you want to ask your question by themselves. So please, we have 15 minutes. And our speakers will be at your service to answer your questions. Yeah. Are there any questions? Please raise your hands or post your questions on the question and answer box.
Sir Armin,
Yeah,
I think some of the questions, while we are waiting for the questions, some of the questions that was raised in the chat, they're not able to put to the question and answer. I think I have to respond some of this because it was directly asked for my presentation. So first is someone asked about the tourists during rainy season. So during rainy seasons there is, but during the peak flows, I'm afraid that the tourist is not visiting the places. Second is from 25 number. So first is, what are the parameters you use in your numerical model? The model that was used with the Flood S and Geovista was actually modeled by the Hitachi, wherein they are the one who are calibrating and validating the software. So currently, the dynamic, they call it dynamic defining method, which is they designed their own. That's why this is actually a combinations of different models. So right now, I asked for their for this also the models, but I'm afraid that they are not open with this one because they made themselves this one. But accurately, according to the website of the Geovista Flood, it's captures almost more than 90% of accuracy. So, and yeah, it is open access for the Flood S. For the Geovista, it requires a lot of simulations. This is the advantage of Flood S and Geovista. This is the advantage of Flood S because it's open access and it's leveraged to the dynamic domain defining method, wherein the Japanese private company is giving us access, wherein we don't need to design or we don't need to go through again with the calibration, validation, and certainty analysis because I'm doing also SWOT, and SWOT is really have a lot of processes in doing the calibration, validation, and the sensitivity analysis, which it is already done by the developer. The only thing that we can all do is like to make it localized with our own operations. So for that, that's the only questions that I can see in the chat. So thank you so much for all the questions that you have asked.
Yeah, thank you very much for addressing these questions. And I see here is another comment that if we can kindly allocate some minutes for the Mayor Honorable Ran. I wonder if Mayor is with us. Mayor Hon Ran, are you with us? We can give you like 6 minutes for your.
Excuse me, sir. So, sorry to say that Mr. Rai had in just one emergency. Just he left out.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for informing us. And to wrap up for wrapping up and closing our thematic webinar of MCR 2000 series, I would like to invite our new head of climate change hub at AIT RRCAP, Mr. Solomon Kofi Hano. So Solomon, please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Amen. Before I proceed with my speech, I would like to direct one more question, which is to Jasmine. I think the participant is asking, is your funding over there accessible to geographical areas like West Africa? Do you have special project branch for West Africa?
Can I ask you to speak closer to microphone, Solomon?
Can you hear me well?
Now it's better, thank you.
My apologies. Yeah, so there is a question to Ms. Jasmine regarding the geographical coverage of the GAP Fund to West Africa, if there are any special project branch in West Africa. I think this is from Chris Hogan. Perhaps,
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, Solomon, for the question. Yes, we do have a regional team based in the sub-Saharan African region as well. So for myself, I'm actually overseeing Southeast Asia and South Asia. I'm that in the presentation slides, you'll be able to get my contact detail there. So happy to please feel free to reach out to me and I'll be able to connect you to my colleague who are based in the Africa region, and she'll be able to support you further from there. I can see a couple of other questions as well. So what are the requirements and qualifications for the GAP fund? So the qualifications and the criteria are pretty simple. The application has to be from the local government itself. It could be from the city local government, or it could be from the national government, national agencies as well, applying on behalf of a group of cities. So, and of course, we need to have very strong climate justification as well in order for you to request and apply for technical assistance from the GAP fund.
It's also a request for South Pacific countries, if they'll be able to access the GAP fund.
What are the other questions, Solomon?
It's a request if South Pacific countries will also be able to access the GAP fund.
Sorry, I can't hear you very clearly. But I can also look into.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so what about South Pacific countries? Will they be able to also access the GAP fund?
Yes, it's actually open to cities from different regions.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no requirements, there's no limitation in terms of which are the cities from specific countries can apply for this. But of course, cities from developed countries are not qualified, but cities from developing countries are actually qualified to apply for support from the GAP fund.
All right, thank you very much. Obi and Bennett, that's answer from the GAP fund to your questions. Now, next, would like to deploy the post-evaluation survey. I would want to request that you kindly give us your feedback on the webinar. Just take a few minutes to scan the QR code that will be flashed on the screen and just give us your quick feedback.
The link is also provided in the chat. Please use a couple minutes to provide your feedback. Thank you.
I think majority of us, if you are done, you can just give us a thumbs up. And whilst we are at it, I would like to also briefly announce that the presentations will be shared, and also the recording of the webinar will be available on our YouTube channel. In case you want to go back and listen to it, you can access it via our YouTube channel. Have we all scanned the post survey? And I believe majority of us are through by now. In that regard, let me quickly use this opportunity to thank you all for the massive participation. In fact, I want to express my heartfelt thanks to everyone who made this session possible. And more particularly on behalf of AIT RRCAP, I would like to sincerely thank the Ministry of Environment Japan for your long-standing commitment to supporting cities and strengthening their resilience to climate change impacts and events and natural disasters. Also, I would like to thank the keynote speakers, Kono-san and Dr. Gilberto, and as well Yoshida-san, who is present here with us, and also all our speakers for sharing your valuable insights, as well as the best practices on strengthening climate disaster resilience in cities. A big thanks to all of you, participants and partners, for your active engagement and the strong interest that you have shown throughout the session. Your presence is really important to us, and we are really, really thankful for the engagement in the chat box and the question and answer sessions as well. And to my organizing team, I want to thank you for your support, as well as to our partners who have collaborated in making this webinar successful. And before I close, would like to extend our sincere prayers to Myanmar and Thailand, who have experienced a devastating earthquake just a few minutes before the start of this webinar. Our prayers are with you, and we hope that you will be able to recover strongly and also build back better. With that said, I would like to borrow the words of Professor Pia Pathe in her closing points. He says that let us act together with urgency, commitment, and collaboration in supporting one another and also in supporting cities to become more resilient and also to adapt to the impacts of climate change. With that said, thank you very much once again, and we look forward to connecting with you in the future on the MCR 2030 series webinars. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you. Have a very good day. Bye.
Thank you.